I wanted to ask about the music. How did you approach putting music to Charles Dickens? I mean,
Well, I really, well, in kind of in a general sense, after reading the treatment originally many years ago, it's really just the whole story in itself of how this had been set in New Orleans in the 20s
oh, gotcha.
engulfed me. And it was about, kind of like Maya Angelou says, we're more alike than we are different. And it was about showing that, you know, there's well, this is very cliche, but you can't judge a book by its cover. I mean, we all have a heart, we have a soul, we have a mind, we breathe and think, and just that whole idea of basically we're all God's children, and how we, you know, each of us have our struggles. To me, that's where I wrote it, was from the beginning. It's just like pure love.
So what instrument did you kind of hear in the beginning?
It wasn't an instrument. I mean, when I first read the 2 pages, which was before Bill and Tina started writing, it was just a treatment. I came back with 6 songs just from the concept of what this was. And out of those 6 songs, there's 4 songs that are still in the show after all of these years.
I want you guys to take me back to, I guess the production that's similar to this, and how you felt seeing it, and how you feel seeing it today. Has it changed?
Are you talking about the one in the Atlanta that we just did?
Yes, yeah.
Or the one in Philly years ago? Because they never.
No, the original one of this version. If it was
in
years
Atlanta.
ago, yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it the same feeling, or describe
It's
that?
much better.
It's
Really?
much better, and it's different. There's a whole different ending to this version than the one
Debbie
in
and I,
Atlanta.
which was, our first words were, and this is before we had even talked to Bill and Tina because they were traveling here. Our first words were, over our dead bodies. Well, I'm not laying on the ground. And then we started thinking about it, because you know, it was just a knee-jerk reaction. And because we were trying to stay truer to Dickens. But really, if it is twist, it's a twist on Oliver Twist. It becomes our own story, and that's what made it really, really exciting. Even though it was our own story already, this new ending, all of
Our
us
first
are
reaction was over our dead bodies.
I know.
No. And then when we started thinking about it, and then when we started working on it, and then I thought to myself, oh my God, if I have to write another finale, I'm going to go jump off the Pasadena Bridge up there. And but I got so excited about it that.
Wow, I can't wait to see.
My first reaction was that, oh, that's going to be an audience pleaser.
Really?
And then I thought, I'm not even like that myself.
Wow.
And then we looked at each other and said, yeah, maybe that would be good.
And we said, why didn't we think of this?
That's cute.
Exactly.
I see a lot of established singers now in musicals, and I'm just wondering, as far as music-wise, how do you suggest to them to sing it in a way that's more musical or Broadway-ish? Do you
Well,
ever?
I've had to do that in every show, every version of this show, because I work very in the first several weeks. I work very, because I've always been a producer and writer for a really incredible artist. And so to me, when somebody is cutting something for a record and for radio, of course, you have to sing in a certain way.
Yeah.
And depending on, where you're going to be hitting, what charts you're going after.
Yeah.
Then again, for Broadway, what I've had to do, because this is a modern score, is I've had to get the singers to really, that have come out of that world, to really not try to, my biggest thing has been, and they've done it very well now, but I've had to pound it and pound it and pound it, is that you're not on stage performing a concert. So you're not on stage performing where there's nobody else there, there's nothing else happening. You are in a scene. So it's not about doing all these licks. It's not about showing me or the audience how many acrobats you can do with your voice, because
Wow.
almost everybody in the show can, sing the Yellow Pages, and it
Wow.
sounds great. But it is about that character and the character they are. So if all of a sudden you lose yourself in somebody's performance of like a concert, then guess what? The show has stopped.
Yeah.
So it's been working with these actors and dancers and singers in staying in the moment and staying where they are as character. Would that
I like
character do that? And there's especially one song that's at a very pivotal point that one of the stars sings, and it's very, very easy to go Luther on that.
Really?
Very easy to go Luther.
We've been hearing it every now and
Yeah,
then.
so
Wow.
I pull him back because you want to sing it like that. If you're a great singer, you want to sing it,
Yeah.
but the audience gets lost in that song opposed to singing the story.
Take me to the beginning. How did you guys get the role?
Well, I got the role by auditioning in Los Angeles.
Did you have to audition more than once?
No, I only had to audition.
You that good, huh?
Well, what happened was I auditioned once for Atlanta. I got the role. I did it in Atlanta. Then I came back and they asked me to do the role again. Yeah.
Did you guys read the book?
No, but I read it every night with my mom now.
Are you guys enjoying the musical, or is it work?
It is a lot of work, but it pays off, and I like it.
You like it?
I agree. It's a lot of work, but it's just amazing working with all these different people, and it's just so amazing. I love it.
Tell me, how did you approach, because Tina said you really tried to stay close to the book, but how did you approach that? You made some changes, but how did you approach that?
Well, it's not so much staying close to the book. I think what we did was in transliterating Dickens, we have honored the essence of the story and the characters.
Okay.
The essence of the story is it's a young orphan boy who is searching for his identity, for his family.
Yeah.
It is also a story, as Dickens wrote it, a protest against the laws of the poor and the Victorian hypocritical mandate of work and Christianity. It was just really terrible the way they were treating children and homeless people and people that owed money. You know, if your daddy owed money, they could take your entire family to jail. And that's what happened to Charles Dickens. So I felt that this translated beautifully to America, and we exchanged the racial climate in America for the laws against the poor. It was laws against, black people or black people and white people ever coming together that we're addressing here.
Yeah. Well, we were told that the music, because I asked about the music, a little bit of jazz and pop and R&B.
Oh, it's gumbo. The music is the best gumbo I have ever tasted.
So
That's
Saturday, will I see any type of modern time, dancing?
Well, let's put it this way. I don't want to blow it for you. I want you to come and see it because as the master of the ship, so to speak, I have introduced quite a bit of staging and also the look of the set. I've worked to develop the look of the set, the way they are dressed, the style of the production. It is theatrical. Things happen right in front of you. We're not trying to pretend we're not in the theater. The spectacle of, costume, lighting, sound, and certainly dance. I have used, I think, to my every advantage for this show, because the show allows for that creativity to go, certainly in that period, tap dancing, which was so wonderful for my kids to realize that, Miss Allen can tap dance. I was taught by Henry Latang and Willie Covan. Willie Covan used to coach Shirley Temple and all of them.
I used to tap when I was little.
Yeah, so I actually, tap dancing was the first style of dance that I learned.
Wow.
I gravitated more to the ballet and certainly the Catherine Dunham
Yeah.
and those techniques, but so I'm able to use all of my tools. I brought, whenever you're doing something, whenever I'm doing something, I could bring the entire palette of my creative self to the table.
Yeah.
And that's quite broad because I've done so much and worked with so many great people over the years that I have influences that have informed my own. I grew up, I was so inspired by musical films as a little kid. I watched those big musical films and I just would sit at the television just like with my eyes glued. I'm talking about those big Busby Berkeley and where you see the Nicholas brothers dancing and Gene Kelly and Lena Horne. I mean, those early movies when I was a little girl impacted my sense of production. And then I was a classics minor at Howard University. I'm a graduate of Howard University. And in studying classics, we spent a lot of time about Deus ex machina. What is the spectacle? When you study Greek drama, there's certain things. There's plot, there's character, there's song, there's spectacle. And even back then, in the early days, spectacle was an important part. So I'm just telling the story. That's really all I'm trying to do.
The Debbie Allen way.
Well, I don't know what that is, but I'm really having a good time, and I've never had such a cohesive, creative group with me and around me. I have to say that. And it's not easy coming to that because everybody has grown up differently and separately, and it takes a minute. It's like gumbo, sausage is over here, okra's over here, but at some point, they all can stew and come into one pot, and that's kind of where we are right now.
Wow.